There is a chickadee sitting on a branch in your yard right now, and every single time you step outside, it sends a specific, targeted, message to every other bird in the neighborhood. Scientists at major universities have been studying these calls for over 20 years. And guess what? They decoded them. It is not just a generic alarm, it is a highly specific, personal threat assessment about you. The bird is literally telling its friends, in a repeatable, mathematical code, exactly how dangerous you are, how fast you are moving, and whether they need to scatter. But here is the most uncomfortable part of the story. There are 7 things you are doing in your own yard, every single day, that the birds you say you love are actively begging you to stop. They are signaling distress, alarm, and sheer panic in ways documented by decades of peer-reviewed science. But almost nobody is listening. By the time we are done today, you will never look at your backyard the same way again. Let us start with the one nobody warns you about, the color of your clothes. A fascinating study published in the journal Bird Study tested how close a human could get to a bird before it flipped out and flew away. The researchers discovered something wild. Birds allowed people wearing green, dark blue, or brown to get significantly closer. But the second someone walked out in red, orange, or bright yellow, boom, total panic. This has nothing to do with fashion taste. It is pure predator recognition. Bright, high-contrast colors, especially red and orange, register in a bird's brain as the ultimate danger palette. It is the exact color scheme of hawks, foxes, and other natural threats. Worse yet, birds see into the ultraviolet spectrum. So to them, your favorite red sweatshirt does not just look bright. It looks like a glowing, high-definition threat signal moving through the yard at full volume. Every time you wear it to refill the feeder, you are instantly resetting months of built-in trust. The fix? Stick to soft greens, earth tones, and muted blues. Dress like foliage, not a fawn. Now, I am about to say something a lot of people do not want to hear. If you let your cat outside, your cat is actively decimating the local wildlife. Not maybe. Not occasionally. Constantly. A landmark study published in Nature Communications estimated that free-ranging domestic cats kill between 1.3 billion and 4 billion birds every single year in the United States alone. The most accurate figure sits at about 2.4 billion. And 2 out of 3 of those birds are native species. Your cat does not even have to be hungry. They kill for play, for practice, and pure instinct. Backyard feeders, where birds gather in predictable numbers, become the ultimate, most efficient hunting ground for a cat. The birds know this. They have specific, unique alarm calls reserved exclusively for ground predators. They drastically reduce their feeding time and completely abandon nesting sites within 50 feet of a cat-frequented yard. The fix here is brutally simple. Bring the cat inside. Indoor cats live more than twice as long, they stay safe from diseases, and they stop being the second largest cause of bird mortality on the continent. Little bell collars do not work, they only reduce kills by about 40%. The only real solution is keeping them indoors, or using a fully enclosed catio. Data published in the Condor estimates that up to 1 billion birds die every year from window collisions in the US. And 44% of those deaths do not happen at massive skyscrapers. They happen at residential homes. Houses exactly like yours. Your sliding glass door, your kitchen window, that big beautiful picture window. Birds literally cannot see glass. They see the perfect, crystal clear reflection of trees, sky, and open air. They fly directly toward what looks like a safe escape route, and slam into a solid barrier they have no neurological concept of. Many die instantly. Many others fly away concussed, only to die hours later in the dense brush, which is exactly why you rarely find the bodies. Statistically, you probably already know the 2 or 3 windows in your house that cause the most trouble. The fix is incredibly cheap. Place external decals on the outside of the glass, spaced no more than 2 inches apart vertically and 4 inches horizontally. You can also use tempera paint, external screens, or hanging strings. Internal decals do not work because the deadly reflection happens entirely on the outside surface. If your windows are completely bare, your yard is contributing to this toll every single year, you just are not seeing it. If you trim your hedges, prune your trees, or clear out wild brush between April and August, you are very likely destroying active, hidden nests. The Migratory Bird Treaty Act has protected native birds and their nests during the breeding season since 1918. Yet, every spring, thousands of homeowners fire up chainsaws and trimmers right during peak nesting season. Carolina wrens tuck into hanging baskets. Robins build on porch ledges. Mourning doves nest right on the side of planters. You might look closely and think there is nothing there. But these nests are biologically designed to be completely invisible to the naked eye. The parent birds see you coming with that loud machinery, and they completely panic. They scream alarm calls, or worse, they abandon the nest entirely. Eggs cool down and die, and nestlings starve. Even if you do not physically hit the nest, just running a loud trimmer within 10 feet of a skittish species for more than 60 seconds is enough to make them abandon their babies forever. The fix? Do all of your heavy landscaping between late September and early March. If you absolutely must trim in the spring, check every single branch by hand first. And look closely. Wrens will nest in a coiled garden hose, an old barbecue cover, or even a boot left on the porch. People feed birds with the absolute best intentions, but they often serve things that quietly cause severe internal damage. Bread, both white and wheat, has zero nutritional value for songbirds. It just expands and fills their stomachs with completely empty filler. Salted or roasted nuts cause immediate sodium toxicity. Honey grows dangerous fungal contamination incredibly fast and spreads fatal respiratory infections. Avocado, chocolate, onions, and garlic are straight up toxic to almost every species. Even cheap grocery store birdseed mixes are a major issue. They are packed with milo, red millet, and cracked corn. Native North American songbirds refuse to eat these fillers, so they aggressively kick them out of the feeder to find the few sunflower seeds at the bottom. This wastes your money, rots on the ground, and attracts invasive pests like house sparrows and starlings. Worse yet are dirty feeders. A massive salmonella outbreak recently killed thousands of songbirds across the country, and it was tracked directly to unclean backyard feeders. The fix is straightforward. Fill your feeders with high-quality black oil sunflower seeds, Niger seed for finches, and pure suet for woodpeckers. Wash your feeders every 2 weeks with a 10% bleach solution. Scrub them, rinse them thoroughly, and let them completely air dry. If you ever see a visibly sick or lethargic bird at your feeder, take everything down for 2 full weeks. Experts call this social distancing for birds, and it stops deadly outbreaks instantly. Birds live in a sensory world that is incredibly finely tuned to subtle sound. Your leaf blower, your power washer, your lawnmower, the dog barking at the fence, your heavy AC condenser, even your wind chimes. Every single one of these registers in a bird's auditory system as severe threat noise or masking noise. A study published in Current Biology proved that birds exposed to chronic background noise have significantly less nesting success, abandon their territories at much higher rates, and are forced to dangerously alter the pitch of their songs just to be heard. Running a gas-powered leaf blower for just 30 minutes will completely clear out every single songbird from a quarter-acre yard, and the ones that eventually return show massive spike levels of stress hormones. But the sneakier offender? The backyard wind chime. The metallic, ringing frequencies of medium and large wind chimes overlap directly with the exact frequencies birds use for alarm calls and basic communication. When your chimes are constantly clanging in the wind, the birds literally cannot hear each other. They cannot warn each other of danger, they lose track of their mates, and they stop using nearby feeders entirely. The fix? Minimize the use of loud power tools, and try to do your loud yard work during the absolute middle of the day, rather than at dawn or dusk when birds are most vocally active. And please, move your wind chimes away from the areas where you feed and watch your birds. This is the one almost nobody knows, the literal way you walk through your own yard changes everything. Birds are master body language readers. They read human intent with shocking accuracy. If you walk in a perfectly straight, direct line toward a feeder or toward a tree where a bird is resting, you instantly trigger their deep survival flight behavior. Even worse. Locking eye contact. If you stare directly at a specific bird while approaching, their brain interprets that direct gaze as immediate predatory targeting. That is the exact visual signal a hawk, a cat, or a fox gives right before a fatal strike. The fix takes a little bit of mindful practice. When you walk outside, approach your feeders at an angle, never walk straight at them. Move at a slow, steady, predictable pace. Do not stop and start abruptly, because stop and start movement is exactly how a stalking predator closes the distance. Look slightly past the bird, never right at it. Speak softly to let them know where you are, and never lift a camera or binoculars to your face suddenly. That rapid hand-to-face movement looks exactly like the sudden strike posture of a raptor. The birds visiting your backyard today are the brilliant survivors of generations that learned exactly how to read these subtle signals. They are evaluating you every single second you are outside. Every tiny behavior you change to acknowledge their world earns you a massive piece of their trust. They cannot speak our language, but they are asking us constantly, in the only way they know how. They are begging us to bring the cat inside, to mark the windows, to wait until fall, to trim the hedges, to ditch the bright red clothes, to scrub the feeders, and to simply slow down. Most people who hear this will not alter a single habit. But the few who do, within just a few weeks, you will notice the birds getting closer. They will stay longer. They will trust you more, and they will sing openly right next to you. That is the beautiful, quiet connection on offer, if you are finally willing to listen. So, which of these backyard habits surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments which one you're planning to change first. I genuinely enjoy reading your thoughts and experiences. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more hidden stories from the natural world. Until next time, keep observing, because nature is always communicating, if we're willing to pay attention.